So hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Canadian Banking Basics for International Students. My name is Riley Cohen. I'm the CEO of CanadaVisa, and our mission is to empower newcomers throughout their journey to Canada by providing access to trustworthy, reliable, and digestible information, advice, and services. We operate CSU News, the Canada Visa Forum, and our newly launched tool, CanadaVisa Plus, which is an innovative platform that evaluates eligibility for Canadian immigration. We're going to start this webinar with a presentation by our guest from TD. After the presentation, we'll have a question and answer period, giving you the opportunity to have your questions answered by our guest. We had many questions submitted prior to the webinar, and we have planned to answer as many of those as possible. We encourage you to continue to ask questions in the chat throughout the presentation, and our team of moderators will add into the question queue. Hopefully, we can answer those in the Q&A period at the end of the webinar. I'm now happy to introduce our guest speaker, Gurpreet Pandasar. Gurpreet is a senior product analyst with the New to Canada product group at TD, supporting the ISGIC pre-arrival program. She officially joined this role in September 2024, bringing over a decade of experience at TD. Since joining TD in 2014, Gurpreet had held a variety of leadership and sales roles across retail, wealth, and operations. Most recently, she led a national team of officers supporting branch operations, focusing on account quality reviews, RESP accounts, and exception handling for registered products. Outside of work, Gurpreet is a proud mother of two and passionate about wellness. She enjoys creating digital content that empowers newcomers and supports immigrant communities as they navigate and thrive in new environments, a passion that continues to shape her perspective and work at TD. Thank you, Gurpreet, for taking the time to join us and share your insights here today. Remember, the chat is public, so please do not share any personal information, such as your phone number or email or other details in the chat. These messages will be removed. And note that the presentation slides and a recording of this webinar will also be shared in an email following the webinar, so look out for that. All that said, I will hand it off to Gurpreet to start the presentation.
Thank you so much, and it's my honor to join this webinar. Hello, everybody from all over the world. We are here to prepare you for success in regards to your banking essentials and what you need to know as international students. So allow me to, again, tell you a little bit about myself. Thank you for the great introduction, Abby. But this is me with 10 years of experience within TD Bank. And I can relate myself as an international student to you because I came to Canada in 2011 as an international student. And just something that we all come in with a lot of hope, a career that we want to strive in, and something that we bring with us is a bag full of dreams. So that's exactly how I came to Canada, with a perspective of changing my life and making an impact. And here I am today with all of you guys. So diving in, what we're going to discuss today is going to be how the banking is done in Canada and what it's going to look like as an international student. We're going to discuss your financial health. We're going to discuss basic banking products, what your credit score is, budgeting tips, and what TD International Student GIC program is, and how the TD International Student Banking Package works. So jumping into why your financial health matters and what exactly it is. So financial health isn't just about how much money you have. It's about how you manage it. So as a student, when I first came in, it was really important for me to make it a habit to track my every expense, from my bus passes to groceries. It gave me a sense of control and helped me to avoid any debt. Because as a student, you really need to focus on how you want to manage your living. You have bills to pay, and you also don't want any stress of having debt that you need to incur and pay after with an interest. So even knowing how much you spend weekly can be empowering. It can help you track down your expenses. And TD also offers tools and personalized guidance so you never feel lost. So just as an example that I would love to share is like I skipped tracking, and one of the monthly subscription charges, like that was for an Excel program for my school. And it did lead me to an overdraft fee. So we don't want to go there. So we will discuss in our next slides, like how TD's other tools like TD My Spend app can help you with managing your finances. I'm going to move over to our next slide that talks about basic banking products and how they are used. So a checking account is the first thing that you need to start your banking. A savings account is what you need next for you to save from like whatever you want to save for, like an expense that you have in your mind that you want to spend on. And then a credit card. Now, what a credit card, and then how does it allow you to build your credit history? So when I first opened my checking account, I didn't even know that I needed a separate savings account. So checking account is basically for an everyday spending, grocery, bills, rent. You want to go buy a coffee, you tap your card with your checking account. You want to pay for something, you use your checking account. So it's like a regular day-to-day checking account. It's like an account that's used for making most of transactions. And then saving account is your safety net for emergencies and for any short-term or long-term future goals. And credit cards, they are your in Canada, credit cards are very different. Like, for example, like credit card can help, like it's so essential because it helps you build up your credit history. They build your financial reputation in Canada, basically, and you get a score for this. So we will need to start with what you need. That will be a checking account, and the TD Students checking account are designed to help you get started without fees and any kind of overwhelming or any kind of fees that are incurred on it. Okay. Now, I did mention like the reputation part around your credit score, right? And what is it and why your credit score is important and why does it matter? So let's talk about what is a credit score. A credit score is a number that helps to determine one's credit worthiness. Credit scores are calculated using information in your credit report, including your payment history, amount of debt you have, length of your credit history. Now, why does it matter? So all the financial institutions that are in Canada will look at your credit history when they decide how much money they can lend you. Higher credit scores can help you getting approved for loans and credit. So let me break it down and give you an example. So I will never forget being denied for my first car loan because I had no credit history. So once you come to a new country, you need to build your worthiness, and the credit score helps you do that. And that's when you learn the importance of credit score. It's like your financial GPA in Canada, basically, like, you know, how you get your score after you finish your exams. So using a student credit card that TD offers responsibly, like paying your phone bill and paying off it monthly on time, it can help you increase your credit score and build it up. And it also opens up more doors for renting an apartment, getting approved for bigger loans or car loans, or just for like some essential needs. And then we can jump it over to your budgeting tips and tool. So many of us have seen our parents creating a budget for a family, or like, this is how the month is going to look like. So understanding what are the sources of funds that we are receiving, and then how we can budget ourselves. So budgeting is a game changer, right? Like, you can use a spreadsheet to budget. You can use one of the apps that we offer at TD. That's the TD My Spend app. And it does the tracking for you. It tracks spending and it categorizes expenses, and it even alerts you when you overspend. So it has a significant impact on your spending, and it helps you track on a monthly basis for the months that you overspend on certain things and for the month that you're doing a great job and you're spending just within your budget. So for this one, I would say like the pro tip would be you can do like a weekly allowance, and if you're living on, let's say, $1,000 a week or $100 a week for food and you go over, then you can create a checkup with the TD My Spend app just to help you manage those overspent expenses. And it's very easy and it's very user-friendly to use. So now let's jump over to so why should international students choose TD? So before I say like, look at the slide, let me start by telling you my story. So, as I stated before, that I came to Canada in 2011. And in 2011, things were very different. Nobody did webinars on like what banking is. So I had zero idea what even a checking account is. I remember going and walking into a TD branch with my uncle and a lady trying to explain me, oh, you're going to get a debit card. And I had 0 cents. So TD has been my community and been there for me since day one I landed in this country. I started with my first bank account here, and I started with my first career here with this bank. It's so important for you to have a bank that understands what's important for you when you first come to a new country. It's like you're leaving your home. It's leaving your home and you're coming to a whole new world, and you need somebody who can understand and prepare a package that's best suited for your needs. So that's why our international student GIC program, and it's my honor to work on this program because I can relate many things from my own perspective 10 years ago when I first came, to make it a better qualifying product so you can make, so I can help you make, come into this country with making an impact with your bag full of dreams and start living in this country. So what is this international student GIC program? There's no application fees and the rates are very competitive. You can do unlimited wire payments and you can also track your status online. And if you are an international student from a qualifying country, this program can help you with the proof of your financial support required for your Canadian study permit application. So I think for everybody who, before they come to Canada, is the biggest hurdle is showing the financial proof for your study permit. So this GIC program makes it simple because, as I mentioned, there's no application fees, there's no hesitancy in that, and then there's competitive GIC rates. And what I love about is that you can track the whole process online from application to confirmation of investments, and give it. It kind of gives you a peace of mind just to help you track down the details before you even come to the country. So yeah, that was a little bit about why the international students should choose TD. Now, let me help you explain like how you can apply, how does the process work, and then once you arrive, how does it look like? So for you, you will need to complete an online application to open a student checkings account and a TD International Student GIC account. You will be given a link where you'll fund your TD student checking account by sending a wire payment. You can do one payment or you can do multiple wire payments with a minimum of 20,635 Canadian dollars plus the incoming wire payment fee. These funds must be received by within 90 days of the account opening. Easy, right? You'll remember these. And once the TD receives your wire payment of $20,635, they will be invested in a TD International Student GIC program, and a confirmation of investment will be sent to you via email. So the pre-arrival process is inclusive of you applying, funding your account, and then a confirmation of this investment is given to you via email. Now, this is a great way to solidify your application for a student visa, because what we need is to let the immigration officers know that we will be taken care of and we have investments in place before we even land to Canada. So these are the three categories for pre-arrival and then post-arrival. Now, once you arrive in Canada, you will you can book an appointment with one of the TD branches, and we have over 1,000 plus branches in all over Canada that you can do. And then you'll need to come and sign off on the documentations, show us your valid proof of ID, and you will be all set to go. We will activate your accounts. So that sounds pretty easy, and with both pre-arrival and post-arrival. Now, our banking package. So this is our all-in-one starter kit. It has a checking account, it has a saving account, it has a student-friendly TD Visa card, and it's free to enroll. Plus, there's a chance to get up to $945 in value, even a $50 Amazon gift card. Like, you're just not getting products, you're getting tools that help you thrive here. And this is the kind of offer I wish it existed when I first came to Canada. So, in the banking package, the number one thing that highlights to me the most is it's $0. It's free to enroll into an international student banking package. Plus, it gives you an eligibility to get $50 Amazon gift card when you bundle up all the three products. Yes, there are certain conditions that apply, but yes, there is a chance to win that Amazon gift card. We have a very good student checking account. In the beginning of the slide, I explained to you the checking account is going to be your friend in your day-to-day transactions. You need a coffee, you need to pay for tuition, you need to pay for a bill, you need to set up any sort of online bill payments. Checking account is going to be something that's going to be essential for you. And Visa. And let me tell you guys, like when I first came to Canada, Visa was not even being offered. So we used to get a Visa with security in place. And now with the TD Cashback Visa card, you do not have to do that. It's already included in our international student package. And then we are also giving up to 125 in cash value for eligible students. And for that, there are limited conditions. We can dive into it as well. If you want to know a little bit about it, is like once you land in Canada, you can set up some sort of bill payments or pre-authorize transactions for you to be eligible for that. But overall, this whole package gives you up to a $945 in value. And it is inclusive of all the basic banking needs that you require when you first come to Canada. Okay, so now the eligibility check. Am I eligible for the international student banking package? If you're 18 plus, you have a valid study permit, and you are enrolled in a full-time, you are eligible. You don't need a long banking history or a cosigner. TD meets you where you are, whether it's in your home country or just landing at the airport. So as it's mentioned in this slide, the full-time post-secondary student, once you're enrolled in one of the programs and your study permit has to be valid, and then that makes you eligible. And of course, your age of majority at the time of account opening, that's very important as well. Okay, so final slide, questions. I know how overwhelming it can be to start fresh in a new country. And so I am here, not just as a TD employee, but as someone who has walked in your shoes. And I would say let TD be your partner in this journey. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now or yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Gurpreet. First off, we really appreciate your taking the time today to give that presentation. It was jam-packed with useful information. For the chat, a couple reminders. One, you'll get a copy of the presentation slides tomorrow, as well as a recording of this webinar. So if there's any part of the presentation you feel like you want to go through in more detail, you'll be able to do that tomorrow. Quick reminder not to share any personal information in the chat because the chat is public and other people can see it. And if you have any follow-up questions, please continue to ask. And our team of moderators will queue up your question to the end of the list. Great. With all that being said, let's start off with the first question we received from Amna, who submitted this question prior to the webinar, asks, which is the first account a new international student should open?
I think you know the answer, Amna, now after the presentation, but it's a student checking account. It helps you manage your everyday banking needs, and it's free of cost as TD offers it.
Great. Sounds good. And during the presentation, you mentioned the New to Canada student banking package. Ronnie Williams asked, would I be able to apply for a credit card while I'm studying in Canada?
Yes, you'll get it as a part of your package, New to Canada package.
Great, thanks. Um, Abel asks, which banks in Canada offer the best benefits for newcomers like me, especially in terms of low or no monthly fees, student accounts, and easy setup upon arrival?
Okay, TD. My TD. TD offers a no monthly fee account to students and with unlimited transactions and a newcomer specific advice through the New to Canada program. Once you come to one of our branches, our advisors are well versed in knowledge to give you and drive you through what you need from your basic banking needs to your day to day needs as a student.
Yeah. Nango asked, how can international students invest in Canada?
So there are different types of investments, right? So current platform that we offer is direct investing for our students, where they have the whole full control on what they want to invest in. But we also have products that are specifically designed for the Canadian residents. So once you reside in Canada, we have tax-free savings account. We have other investment options that can help you incur some interest. GIC is also one of the other options. I know you will have your international student GIC in a GIC platform, but these are the guaranteed investment certificates that can help you incur interest on them.
Great, thanks. Emmanuel asked, and this is a question for me, where can I get the slides after the webinar? The slides will be emailed to you, so you'll get those tomorrow. Great. Majola just asked in chat, as someone who has already provided proof of finance for study, would I need to apply for the International Student GIC program, I guess, to open a bank account with TD?
So for a proof of enrollment part, proof of financial part, you could do that, but yes, for you to be able to like open a bank account with TD, it's a great way to have your GIC and start your banking.
Great, thanks. Shanika asked before the webinar, will paying only the minimum amount on your credit card affect your credit score?
Well, yes, it does help you keep your account in good standing, but you may still carry a high balance, which can lower your score due to the credit utilization. So I would say keep it like leave the 30% room in your credit card always and use only 70% of it. And as you continue to make payments to your minimum payments, it will keep on increasing and it will maintain like a good credit history for yourself.
Great, thanks. Monica asked before the webinar, what are the key distinctions between a TFSA and an FHSA?
So very good question. I really like that our students are very much interested in the products that are provided by a Canadian government. So TFSA is a tax-free savings account. The tax-free savings account is designed for anybody who's over 18. And the eligibility criteria is you have to be Canadian resident. And if you, let's say you are coming to Canada in 2025, the eligibility room is $7,000. So let's say you have $7,000 with you when you first come to Canada and you're a Canadian resident, you can open up a TFSA account. And if you invest that money in, whatever interest you incur on it would be tax-free. Let's say on the $7,000, you put it in a direct investing account and you made 500, 1,000 on it, and or your trades even extraordinary, did amazing, right? And you incurred the interest on it. That interest would go in like in your pocket without without having any tax on them. So it'll be a total tax-free. That's what the tax-free savings account is. The other one is an FHSA account. It's specifically for you to save tax when you are buying your first home. So it's called first home savings account. That's what an FHSA for. And for both these accounts, the eligibility also includes that you must be a resident with a social insurance number, which will be given to you when you come to Canada.
Great, thanks. Sadie just asked, I've already applied for study permits from Nigeria. How can I open an account and transfer my money? Well, I guess what are the methods that students commonly use to transfer money overseas to Canada?
Is wire payments they can use. We also have the global transfer, but that is given to you once you open an account with TD, and you get you get to like send money through that as well.
Great, thanks. Uh, I'm going to ask before the webinar, are there any advantages or discounts offered when making student fee payments through a local Canadian bank account compared to an overseas home country account?
Well, definitely. The processing is a lot faster when you're making payments through like a Canadian account, and then there's no foreign exchange delays. And it's better for any kind of documentation for IRCC purposes. There's low transfer fees, and the funds are there in the same currency.
Great, thanks. Um, Kublai asks, is it possible, I guess, to improve my credit score before coming to Canada?
You cannot build a credit score before coming to Canada or before arrival, I would say. But once you're in Canada, you can start with a TD credit card that is part of our package, and you can pay bills on time and maintain low balances on the credit card for you to be able to build your credit history.
Great, thanks. Sandra asked before the webinar, how do I use my credit card wisely?
If you can, I would suggest like paying full monthly. Like it's a 21-day cycle for the credit cards. I would say if you are able, you have a job or you're incurring like some sort of funds from part-time job, I would say paying the amount fully and try to keep your usage under 70%, I would say, and then never miss a payment. You can start with the student card as part of our package to start with your credit history.
Great, thanks. We also got a question for the webinar. Can I open both a checking and a savings account as a student?
I would say you must. You must. Checking account is your day-to-day expenses. Saving account is like, I always liked this when I first came to Canada, is like the checking account. For every transaction I did, I used to put like a couple of dollars in my savings account so that I know that while I'm spending, I'm also saving. But having both accounts is like, it become hand in hand. Like you need to have a savings account for any rainy day.
Great, thanks. Somebody asked before the webinar, can I get a credit card as an international student with no credit history?
That's right. Yes, TD does offer the credit card. It's a student credit card for newcomers with no credit history.
Great, thanks. And Igor asked, and maybe this is just the answer is that it's case by case, but Igor asked, what is a typical maximum credit limit for a student credit card with TD Banks?
Yes, that is case to case, but I think we are working on starting by $1,000 limit to up to a $2,500.
Great, thanks. I got a question for the webinar. Are there limits on how much money I can deposit or transfer into my account?
So the limits may apply based on the transfer you guys are doing. Like for example, let's say you're doing a wire payment and you can do multiple wires, and there's no such like there's no barrier to these limits. You can do multiple wires. It's just that how much wire you can do in one time.
Right, gotcha. Can I open a joint account with my roommate or a family member?
Once you come to Canada, you can convert your account to a joint account with mutual consent and documentation. And then TD will be able to let you know that the both parties will be responsible for any transactions.
Great, thanks. Are there student discounts or perks offered by banks in Canada?
Yes, we just talked about this. $945 worth of new to banking package for international students. There are no fee student accounts. And we also have discounts on selected services, access to credit cards with rewards as well. And yeah.
Great, thanks. Someone asked, do I need a social insurance number, a SIN, to open a bank account?
So specifically to open a checkings and savings account, no, but it's required for any interest-bearing accounts, like for any type of credit products as well. So once you are applying for new to bank package for international students, you would need it, and you will be given one as well once you arrive in Canada.
Great, thanks. How long does it take to access funds after an international transfer?
5 business days. But it may vary depending on the transfer because we use intermediary bank. It can take up to 7 business days as well.
Great, thanks. Somebody asked, can I pay tuition directly from my Canadian bank account?
Yes, you may. We have our bill payment service that offers online bill payments for all Canadian schools and colleges. And well, I shouldn't say all. If your school is listed in the bill pay list, you are eligible to make payments using our TD checking account.
Great, thanks. Um, and um, Sumail Samuel asked on job form before the webinar started, and maybe you can go over this again, what the key differences are between checkings and savings, and which one should I open first?
Okay, so checkings account, as I mentioned, it's your everyday account, right, that you need for your day-to-day expenses. So think about a checking account as something where you need to tap or you need to like enter your PIN in for your regular day-to-day. Like you need a coffee, you need to buy your bus pass, you need to buy groceries. So that's your checkings account. Savings account is something that's designed for you to make less transactions. You can do deposits into it because you want the end goal for savings account is to earn a little bit of interest and for you to be able to save for a rainy day. For the checking account, it's your daily account, and I think in some countries it's also called like a current account. So that's what it is. It reflects your balance after each transaction, and with savings account, it's something that you need to grow, right? Like for you to be able to use in any future needs.
Great, thanks. Francis asked, how does the US credit card system differ from one in Canada? Or maybe the better question is, does the US credit card system, credit score system, differ than the Canadian one?
I would say I'm not able to answer that. I am from Canada, so I can answer questions for Canadian perspective. I can say like the Canadian credit score is based on like your worthiness with how you handle credit, right? So once you are given credit, let's say you have a $500 credit card, and I see you using it wisely by buying a bus pass from it and then paying it off the following month once you have your funds. But if you are buying this bus pass now 2 or 3 months in a row and you've made only one minimum payment towards it, or you're using the maximized room of the credit card, I'm looking at you as your worthiness is going down because now you're promising that you'll pay off, but you're not. So that's how it works in Canada. So from a credit card perspective, you have to keep in mind always use up to 70% of it, and leave room for you to be able to start building on your credit history.
Great, thanks. Beatrice asked this question a few times in chat. I'm not sure if you know the answer,
I'll try.
um, but if you don't, maybe you can tell Beatrice where to go to get the answer, which is, does TD give a credit card to students with a study permit that's less than 10 months?
Could you rephrase the question again? I want to understand what exactly is the ask
Yeah,
here.
so it sounds like Beatrice is on a study permit that's less than 10 months long.
Okay.
And
He's
Beatrice
already
wants
in.
to know if TD allows people to apply for credit cards on short-term study permits.
Yes. So Beatrice is already in Canada?
I'm not sure. Beatrice, maybe you can let us know.
Yeah. Are you already in Canada?
But in general, if people have specific questions like that, where should they go to find the answer?
So TD's website does offer a very good idea about like how the eligibility works around credit. And I would say like if she's in Canada and she can walk up to any branch and the branch partners will be able to assist her with the new to Canada international package, and then credit is inclusive of that as long as she's able to provide the proof of her enrollment in the school, and going from there she will be eligible for that.
Awesome, thanks. Um, Jaden asked, for what documents should an international student bring on the day of the appointment to open a bank account?
So think about it as what ID proof you have, and your approved study permit, just for the length that you will be staying in Canada, or the length of the study permit, and yeah, basically like verify just the proof of IDs and a study permit.
Great, thanks. Um, a few questions here about where to go to get started with the New to Canada banking package. Uh, maybe you can let our audience know kind of what the process is. Maybe it's a website or walking into a branch.
Yeah, so I think I can provide you, if they are already in Canada, they can walk up to a branch. Our branch staff is very much, they have the availability to answer all the questions around a new to Canada banking package. But for people who are looking to apply for student GICs, they can go to our website. Um, the TD they can search the TD International Student Banking Package on TD website, and then it will have all the criteria for them to apply for.
Great, thanks. And we'll probably put that link in
Yeah,
the email follow-up.
yes, and it's also in one of the slides. It's in slide number 10. Once we share the slides with our students, they are able to click on the link from the slide.
Great, thanks. And Christian just validated that, said that he can speak to this because he's in Canada and it is easy to open a bank account and they are informative and reliable. So thanks, Christian.
Thank you, Kristen. I love the feedback.
Beatrice followed up and said yes, that they're here with a 1-year study permit in Canada right now, but the plan is to extend the permit next year. But still wants to know if they can access a credit card from TD.
Yes, you may, Beatrice. I would say connect with any one of the TD branches, depending on your location, and they will be able to help you with the credit card.
Great, thanks. A few questions here about applying for a loan. And I know it's a topic we don't want to get super deep into, but maybe you could speak quickly about whether TD does or doesn't offer loans to students, and then where they can go for more information.
Okay, so when we talk about loans, for students, I wouldn't recommend too much getting into loans because first, we don't have stable jobs or an income stream for you to be able to pay them off, and you don't want unnecessary stress. But let's say you are looking to apply for a loan and you can come to one of the TD branches. What you'll need to know is that loans could be approved based on your credit history, right? Like if you're a student and you came last year and now you have a credit card, you've been paying it properly, you may be eligible to get an unsecured loan. But in most cases, and I would say 90% cases, you need a co-signer for a loan, or you'll need to use a third party who gives you a loan. But as somebody who's come here as an international student, this is one thing that I would recommend not to get yourself into. If there is any sort of financial need or any sort of financial stop that you have where you need finances, I would say take a pause and reassess yourself before you come to Canada, or maybe work on your finances. But getting yourself into a loan and into a cycle of incurring interest and not being able to pay and looking for a job, that's a very stressful situation. I would not recommend any student to get themselves into. But yes.
Great, thank you so much for that. Igor asked if there's any special banking offers with TD for medical or dental students.
Medical or dental students? Well, our student package is very much designed for all the students. But if you are within Canada, I know there are certain type of line of credits that are eligible for dental and medical students, but
Great,
not
thanks.
pre-arrival.
Right. Amna asked, for stock trading, should I use my primary account for investments or should I open a new / high interest accounts?
So for investments, let's say you just want to, for stock trading specifically, we have our direct investing account. You can open that and then you can purchase your own stocks based on that, and you'll be given some free transaction fees. But then later on, for each transaction, you will be choosing to purchase a stock. There will be fees that's going to be charged.
Right.
But yeah,
Great.
direct investing account. Sorry, I'll say that again.
Yeah, great, thanks. And then we got a question here as well about, and maybe this will be the final question before we wrap up with closing statements. Is it possible to earn interest on a student bank account?
Not on a student bank account, but any type of student savings account. And we have the high interest savings account. So these are all the questions. Once you come to Canada, you can go to a branch. But for you to start up, the checking account is your basic need for you to be able to start your transactions with. And the saving account will have like a minimal interest on it. But yes, you will get interest on any sort of savings account.
Great. Thanks so much, Gurpreet.
No worries.
And that'll wrap up our question and answer period. I want to say a huge thank you to Gurpreet for you to come here and answer our questions. We got through a lot of different questions here,
Yeah.
and I know that it was super useful for our audience. So once again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And then also thank you for the audience for joining. A lot of this was driven by you and the questions that you submitted prior to the webinar. So we appreciate you guys doing that as well. A couple housekeeping notes. You will receive, as I said earlier, a copy of the presentation slides and recording of the webinar in your email inbox tomorrow. There'll be the links there for you to start, I guess, opening your bank account or looking into this in more detail.
Yeah.
So look out for that email tomorrow. And we'll be doing more of these throughout the year, so look out for your email as well for future webinars on different topics related to banking in Canada. And I'll
Yeah.
just hand it off to Gurpreet maybe for a closing statement before we wrap up the webinar.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say a huge thank you for everybody who joined today. And I just want to reiterate, think about your bank not just as a place where you need to save or store your money, right? But as a tool to build your future. At TD, we don't just open accounts, we open doors. It opened a door for me when I first came to Canada, and I'm not only as a customer, but as an employee of TD. So don't stop yourself, and TD does have doors that can lead you to a bright future. So thank you once again for joining, and I am so happy to be part of this webinar. Hope we can connect soon, and I hope we answered all your questions. Until
Yeah,
then, very safe day.
thank you so much, Gurpreet. And I saw a couple questions come in. You can just send those to us by email, and maybe we can answer those questions offline. But thank you so much, Gurpreet. Thank you, audience. And I look forward to seeing everyone soon.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.